So Hollow's End is upon us once again, and there's quite a few gold making opportunities for you to take advantage of, and that is entirely what this video is going to be about. At the end of the video, I'm leaving you with some awesome tips related to upcoming events to help you get ahead of the curve. Okay, it's time to dig into the Halloween event. Of course, the first thing we need to talk about is the new pet Naxi. We don't know much about this, how much it's going to sell for, how much value it's going to hold throughout the year. People who are into battle pets will probably be able to offer better insight into this based on its abilities. Either way, the pet costs 150 tricky treats, which is the same cost as all of the other pets on the vendor. Here are the pets you can buy from the vendor to sell in the auction house. All of them are pretty good options except for the Sinister Squashling. You don't want to buy that one ever, ever, ever. The rest of the pets have held a global value of 40,000 gold throughout the year. To maximize your gold, spend your treats on Naxi, Feline Familiar, Cursed Berman, and Widget the Departed. If you've noticed that one sells better than the other or for a higher price on your server throughout the year, feel free to focus on what you know, and don't forget to add that pet to your TSM. There are also two toys from the Halloween event that you can make gold with, the Coin of Many Faces and the Sack of Spectral Tigers. So let's first talk about the Coin of Many Faces. You can see here on this graph that you can usually sell these for about 3,000 to 4,000 gold shortly after the event, and then slowly as months pass you'll notice that they keep climbing higher and higher. And you can also see here that they held a value of over 20,000 gold for more than 6 months. Even if you can only sell them for 5,000 to 10,000 gold, it's still a good investment. More and more people are getting into gold making these days, so don't start whining if you see a lot more competition in this market. In fact, you really should expect it. So if you are into farming, you can head to your garrison and fly down to Shadowmoon Valley and kill these mobs here that you see being killed in the background. And you will get tons of these coins. They have a very, very high drop rate. So the other toy we need to talk about is the Sack of Spectral Spiders. Now this item isn't worth as much as the coin we had just talked about, but still worth 2,000 to 3,000 gold, and you can still make profit with it. So if you wanted to farm this, you'll have to kill the spider in your garrison for a chance to get this toy. I understand some people prefer farming this kind of stuff to sell in the auction house, which is absolutely fine, and you're certainly going to be making gold doing this. But please, please don't sell this stuff during the Halloween event. Wait and sell it later. You can get much, much more gold for having just a little bit of patience. However, there are other goblins who prefer to sit at the auction house to make their gold, which is more my style. So I'm going to talk about that in a bit more detail. So all of these items I've just mentioned, you need to know what they generally sell for throughout the year on your server. Many of us already know this, so it's not really a big deal, but for those of you who are new to these markets, you can sort of cheat in a lazy way and look at the historical data on your tooltip, which is an average of the last 60 days. Obviously, the historical number will keep dropping further as the event continues, so it's not really an ideal reference point, but it's something you can use. Ideally, you want to look up historical data for these items if you are new to these markets in the beginning until you get a better feel for it. For these items, you're best to use the Undermined Journal because it has data going back a whole year for your server and 2 years for region. That's the longest stretch of any of the sites out there. So let's look at the Coin of Many Faces as an example. You can see here on my server that these coins hold a value of 4 to 5k throughout most of the year. That's the blue area tucked tightly to the bottom. I tend to have the best luck selling them just below market value at around 3 to 4k. My server is very high population, so they are much less for me, but still a very nice market, especially considering Zionic farmed hundreds of these for me in the last Halloween event. Now look at the green area, that's region. I imagine most of you are somewhere between the blue and green areas, but to know for sure, go check this on your own server and see what these items sell for throughout the year. So now you know what these items go for on your server throughout the year, so what can you do with this information? Well, obviously when the event goes live, the prices of all this stuff will drop significantly on the auction house because of increased supply from players doing stuff with the event. However, once you get about halfway throughout the event, you need to start paying closer attention. The time frame from about middle to near end of the event is when you are going to be able to get these items the cheapest. So around October 25th or so, start watching those prices more closely up until the end of the event. Don't wait until the last 2 days of the event to start looking at the auction house for these items. Most goblins on your server will have all the cheap items already cleared out, and the price will be rising again at the end of the event. Don't sell the Halloween items during the Halloween event, of course. Just wait, store them away, and just stop thinking about them for a while. After a few weeks or so, when the price has slowly climbed up to a point you are satisfied with, then you slowly start peppering them on the auction house throughout the year. This is a slow side market to add to your regular routine. Don't expect to make many millions on this, but you can easily earn a few $100,000. Very nice side change. So that's all I need to cover for the Halloween event. Good luck to any of you that are still trying to get that Headless Horseman mount. And just before I go, I have a few little tips for the next big event for gold making that you need to start considering now before it's too late. So a quick reminder that the Christmas event is sneaking up on us, and you will start to notice the price of small eggs rising on your server. They've already gone up to 40 gold on my server. These drop like candy, so feel free to get farming these or buying up cheap ones on the auction house to resell if you still can. Don't wait to sell them during the Christmas event. Start selling them as soon as the price starts to rise, which could be any time from now until Christmas. And absolutely make sure that you have some to sell during the Christmas event. The places where you farm these eggs will start to get pretty hectic and busy as you get closer to Christmas, so get this out of the way now. And maybe you might want to get a bunch of alts ready to maximize elixirs of the rapid mine for Christmas right now. That market can make you massive amounts of gold. Those XP potions sell for 30 to 50,000 gold each throughout the year. Get ready for this gold rush now. Remember, the NPC you need only appears in the rank 3 garrison, so don't be stuck last minute trying to rank up your garrisons on your alts. Also keep in mind, lots of other players are going to be leveling up alts from now until Christmas, preparing for this exact same thing. So check out the huge ogre cache on the auction house. It's an item that grants 1,000 garrison resources. This item is going to have crazy demand, so get ahead of that curve. Thanks for watching. See you next time.